I'm Kim, and welcome to a gentle yoga class. Be sure and listen to your body during the class, and if you need to take a break, you can just sit and focus on your breath, or go into child's pose or some other comfortable resting pose. So before we get started, one other little tip that you might want to sit elevated on a block or a pillow. I'm on a yoga block like this, but if you don't have one of those, you could sit on a pillow, a bolster, a blanket to elevate your hips above your knees, because sometimes your hips above your knees is better alignment for your spine. So it just depends on your body and your spine, so just test it out and see. And then once you're in a good, comfortable seated position, then think about sitting well. Have a nice long, tall spine, shoulders rolled back and down, long neck. Maybe press your head back against your hand to lengthen your neck just a little bit more and get it into better alignment, because the neck still tends to be tilted forward just a little bit. And then once you're sitting comfortably and sitting well, let's just tune into our breath for a few moments. So close your eyes or gaze gently at the floor and just listen to your breath. And if it's short or shallow, try and lengthen your inhales and exhales to whatever's comfortable for you. And try and breathe in and out through your nose to tap into your parasympathetic nervous system. Now that you're paying attention to your breath, let's connect our breath to our movements. And tend your fingers out beside you, and on an inhale, reach for the sky using your breath to go the whole way up. Exhale, lower your hands down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. This time we're going to inhale up, then exhale, fold over to your right side, a gentle fold, or the opposite of me. Inhale, reach up to the sky again. Exhale, twist your torso to the right and lower your hands for a gentle twist. And inhale back to center. Exhale, fold over your left side. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist your torso to the left and then lower your hands. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold over your right side again. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to your right, lower your hands. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold over your left side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist your torso to the left. Lower your hands. And inhale, center. One more time, fold over your right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist your torso to the right, lower your hands. And inhale back to center. Exhale, fold over your left side one more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to your left, lower your hands. And inhale back to center, reach up. And then reach with your hands like you're climbing a rope, alternating, reaching, really stretching your sides, reaching. One more, each hand. And then take your hands behind you, clasp your hands, and with your bent elbows, take an inhale. Exhale, straighten your arms, expand your chest, and breathe. Then inhale, release your arms, bring them around in front of you, and clasp your hands the opposite way. Arch your back the opposite way, and take a breath here. Then inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, lower your arms, and then if you're elevated on anything, come down off of what you're elevated on. And if your ankles are crossed one direction, cross them the other, and mix it up. And then inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, hinge your hips flat back, forward fold. And take a breath or two here. Then walk your hands over to your right side, over your right knee, so you get a left side stretch. And walk your hands back to center and over to your left side, over your left knee for a left side stretch, for your stretch on your right side. Then walk your hands back to center and use your hands to walk yourself back up and bring your legs out straight in front of you. And flex your feet, activate your legs, nice little tension in them. Sit up nice and tall on your sits bones. Lift yourself up with your hands so you get seated well on your sits bones. And then nice long tall spine and neck. And inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, flat back, forward fold. Whatever's comfortable for you. Here is fine, whatever's good for you. And breathe. Then inhale, use your hands to walk yourself back up and bring your right foot in and bring your left foot in, take your right foot out. Like you're gonna cross your ankles, but take your right foot behind you. So left foot in front, right foot behind. And then once you're situated, inhale, reach up for the ceiling. Exhale, twist your torso to the left this time. Lower your hands. And we're going to stay here for a breath or two, so make small adjustments. Use your right hand to apply a little more pressure to the outside of your left knee to twist just a little bit more. Take a couple of good breaths here. And then look back over your right shoulder towards the front of your room or the screen. And then look back over your left shoulder towards the back. And inhale, reverse your twist to the other side. And then come back to center and come up on your knees. And straighten your left leg. So we'll be mirroring each other now. And on an inhale, lift your right arm up and over for a gate pose. And take a breath here. Then inhale, up and over with that hand and up and over with your other hand. Really press your right foot into the mat, your left foot into the mat. Reach with your hand, really lengthen your side. Then on the inhale, make big slow circles with your arm one direction. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And change direction. Good, then come to stillness, and then inhale up one more time with your right arm up and over for gate pose. And inhale up and over with that hand again, back to your knees, and then come back down with your right foot in this time in front of you, like you're gonna cross your ankles, and your left foot out behind you. And then once you're situated, inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, twist your torso to the right this time. Lower your hands. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths again. So make small adjustments. Maybe try and look back over your right shoulder towards the back of your room. A little bit more on an exhale and twist. And then look back over your left shoulder towards the front of the room you're in or the screen. And then look back over your right shoulder towards the back. Then reverse your twist to the other side. And then come back to center and up to your knees again. And this time straighten your right leg Inhale, reach up with your left arm. Exhale over. And inhale, reach up and over with your left hand down to the mat, up and over with your other arm. Really press with that foot into the mat. Reach with the fingertips for the far wall and breathe. And inhale back up and over with your hand. And one more time, up and over with your left hand. Inhale up and over with that hand. Stay on both of your knees and place your hands on the back of your hips. And then roll your shoulders back and down and look up gently at the ceiling and do a gentle back bend with just your upper back and your upper torso. Don't compress your lower back. Just you do a little camel with your upper back. Really pressing your hands into your hips. Inhale, come back up. And then over into tabletop. And establish a nice solid tabletop with your shoulders over your wrists and your neck. You want to pay attention to that it's nice and long, not sunken down or cranking up, nice and long, flat. And once you've established a nice solid tabletop, take an inhale. Exhale, look over your right shoulder at your right heel. Really look so far that you almost see your left heel. You can shift your hips a little to the right, to the left. Then inhale back to center. Exhale, look over your left shoulder at your left ankle. Look so far that you almost see your right ankle, or you can see it. And you can shift your hips a little to the right. Then back to center. Look over your right shoulder again. And center. And left. And center. One more time, right. Center. And left. And center. And on your next inhale, and to give your wrists a break, if you'd like to make fists with your wrist, and just be sure and keep your thumb on the outside so you don't hurt your thumb. But on an inhale, lift your tailbone and your head towards the ceiling for cow. And exhale into cat. Do a few of these at your own speed with your own breath. Inhaling in cow. Exhaling in cat. And then come to stillness and straighten your right leg, flex your right foot, really ground your toes into the mat, press your heel back towards the wall behind you, and take a breath. And return your right knee to the mat, straighten your left leg. Really press that heel towards the back wall and take a breath. Then inhale, lift your left leg straight up and your right arm straight out. And really reach with your right hand, press with your left heel, really lengthen your back. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower your hand and knee and alternate. Lift your left arm, right leg. Really reach and press with your hand and your foot, your heel, and exhale down. Alternate. Right arm, left leg. And down. Left arm, right leg. And down. One more each side. Right arm, left leg. And down. Left arm, right leg. And down. And now let's melt back into child's pose for a breath or two. If child's pose is not particularly comfortable for you, you can separate your legs just a little bit, not wide knees or anything, but just separate them a little bit so there's a little more room for your pelvis to settle down in between the space. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Then inhale back up into tabletop and walk your hands up to the top corners of your mat and walk your knees back a little bit so they stay under your hips, and then melt down into puppy pose. Take a few inhales and exhales here, remembering that inhales nourish the body and exhales cleanse. Next inhale, look between your hands and slide forward onto your stomach. And we're going to get positioned for Sphinx pose. So you want your elbows right under your shoulders and your fingers spread wide apart on your hands. If you have any back discomfort in this pose, you can separate your legs a little bit to relieve that. And then once you're positioned, grasp the mat with your fingertips, and then use your hands to shrug yourself forward on your hip bones just a little bit more to activate your abdominal muscles. A little bit more. And take a few breaths here. You can do anything you like with your head. You can look around. You can look down. Just try not to lower your shoulders. Might want to try alternating shoulders, shrugging them forward, alternating right and left. Very slow little shrugs if you do this. And if you're shrugging your shoulders, come to stillness. And then lower all the way down onto your stomach. And with your arms above your head. And on an inhale, raise your right arm and your left leg. Inhale up, exhale lower. Then alternate, raise your left arm, right leg. On the next inhale, up and exhale. Right arm, left leg, up, exhale, left arm, right leg, and down. One more time, right arm, left leg, down, left arm, right leg, and down. And the next inhale, we're going to lift both our arms and our legs at the same time and hold it for a few breaths. So inhale up and breathe. And exhale down. And to make a pillow for your head with your hands, and bring your toes together and lay your heels out for a crocodile. Take a few deep breaths here. And your next inhale, press back up into tabletop. And from tabletop, step through with your left foot for a low lunge. With your knee on the mat. You can raise it if you'd like to, but we're going to demonstrate with it on the mat. And on an inhale, go a little deeper into your lunge and lift your arms towards the sky. And exhale back into a hamstring stretch. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, back. Inhale, lunge, last time. Exhale, back. And this time we're going to hold it here for a breath or two. So make small adjustments. Flex your left foot if you're not already. Try and flatten your back just a little bit more. And breathe. Your next inhale, come forward onto your left foot and then walk it over to the right side of your mat and lower your left knee down for pigeon. In pigeon, your back leg can be straight or it can be bent to any degree and you'll still get the same effect of pigeon. So whatever's comfortable for you. The most important thing in pigeon is to make sure that your hips are level and you don't tip over when you lift your hands up. So check that, and if you start to tip over when you lift your hands up on this side, then you want to put something under your left hip, a blanket, towel, pillow, something like that to balance you. And then if your back leg is straight, look back and make sure it's as straight as it can be, not sickling any direction, but as straight as it can be. And then once you're positioned, take an inhale and exhale, slowly lower down. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so make small adjustments. If you're not flexing your left foot, the foot closest to you, try that. You can lower your right hip closer to the mat. Another breath or two here. The next inhale, press yourself back up and back into tabletop. And then step through with your right foot for a low lunge on the other side. And once you're positioned, inhale, go a little deeper, reach up. Exhale back. Inhale, lunge. Exhale back. One more, lunge. And back into hamstring stretch. And we're going to hold it here for a breath or two again. So flex your right foot if you're not already. Try and flatten your back a little bit more. And next inhale, come forward onto your right foot and walk it over to the left side of your mat and lower your right knee down for pigeon on this side. And again, just determine if you want your back leg bent or straight. If it's straight, look back and make sure it's as straight as it can be. Check your balance. And on this side, if you tip over when you lift your hands, you need to put something under your right hip. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. On this side, make small adjustments. Flex your right foot, the one closest to you if you aren't already. You can try and lower your left hip bone closer to the mat. And breathe. One more nice deep breath. And then next inhale, press yourself back up into tabletop. And then if you'll join me for a few gentle push-ups on your knees from here. Just nice, slow, gentle push-ups, about 5 at your own speed. Get in some arm strengthening. And after you've done as many as you're comfortable doing, then press back into child's pose. And then on an inhale, press back up into tabletop and come on through into high to up dog. And exhale. Inhale back into child's pose. Inhale back into up dog. And back into child's pose. One more time into up dog. And back into child's pose. then back up into tabletop and down onto your elbows and then into elbow plank. So you're on your elbows but in plank, so your knees are off the mat. And then drop your heels to the left and come up on your left elbow for side plank. Your right arm, your left hand's gonna come a little bit towards the front. And then you can lift your right arm if that's comfortable. Keep your hips lifted off the mat for side plank. And breathe. And exhale back to plank on your elbows. And then drop your heels to the right and come up on your right elbow. And your right hand is going to come a little more towards the front of your mat. You can raise your left arm if you're comfortable with that. And keep your hips lifted off the mat. And breathe. And exhale back to plank on your elbows and lower your knees. Back to tabletop. And then look between your hands and walk your right foot through up and then your left foot up for a forward fold at the top of your mat. Then bend your left knee, keep your left hand on the mat, reach up with your right arm for a twist. Grasp your right ankle if you can. And exhale, lower your right hand to the mat, bend your right knee, reach up with your left arm for a twist. Grasp your left ankle if you can, and breathe. Then exhale, lower your left hand to the mat, then bend your knees if you need to, hinge at the hips, flat back, reach up for the sky all the way up. Exhale, do a little right bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, left bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, a little back bend with your upper back. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist your torso to the right, straighten your arms. Try and keep your hips towards the front. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist your torso to the left, straighten your arms. Try and keep your hips towards the front of the room. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale to your left. One more each side. Center, right, center, and left. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Okay, let's establish a good solid Tadasana before we move along with your feet about hip width apart. And then all your toes off the mat and then lower them down slowly. Really grip the mat with your toes. Come up on your tippy toes and lower your heels back down so you're grounded down in all the parts of your feet. Little tension in your legs. Neutral pelvis, not forward or backwards, tilted. Shoulders rolled up, back, and down. Nice long neck, maybe press your head back against your hand. One more time to lengthen your neck and get it in good alignment. And then your hands can be relaxed at your side. Just take a couple of breaths to enjoy this nice, strong Tadasana or mountain pose. Good. Okay, bring your feet a little bit closer together. And then on an inhale, come up on your tippy toes and reach for the sky. Inhale up. Exhale down into chair pose. Inhale up. Exhale into chair. One more. Inhale up. Exhale into chair. And stay in chair and twist your torso to the right and prop your elbow on your knee. And back to center. Twist your torso to the left and prop your elbow. Inhale back to center. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. Okay, now come to the top of your mat again. And start into Tadasana. And on an inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold, flat back. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, step back with your right foot. So we'll be mirroring each other. And check your warrior two. We're in warrior two now. And check it to make sure your knee is over your ankle as much as possible, not splaying in or out. Your feet are nice and grounded. Little tension in your legs, nice strong legs. Arms about shoulder width height, shoulder height. And then take a breath here in your strong warrior two. Take another inhale. Exhale into reverse triangle. Taking your left arm over your head, straightening your left knee. Inhale over into extended side angle, bending your left knee. Right arm is over your head. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior, bending your left knee again. Left arm over your head. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. One more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Okay. Inhale, straighten. Now shift your right hip out just a little bit. Reach with your left hand over into triangle. And take a breath. Then inhale into pyramid over your left foot. Take a breath. And then inhale up into high lunge. And inhale, open up and turn to your other side for warrior two on this side. Again, check your warrior two now, that your knee is over your ankle as much as possible. Feet are really grounded, legs are really strong, arms are shoulder height. Take an inhale, and then exhale into reverse triangle. This time your right arm is over your head, your right leg is straight now. Inhale over into extended side angle, bending your right knee again, your left arm over your head. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Should be your right arm over your head, your right knee bent. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. One more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, straighten. Now shift your left hip out just a little bit. Reach with your right arm and fold over for triangle. Take a breath here. Then exhale over into pyramid. And take a breath. And inhale up into high lunge. And take a breath. Then inhale, open up into a standing straddle. Take your hands, clasp them behind your back. Take an inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips, flat back, fold over. Try and press your arms towards the floor a little bit more and breathe. Then release your hands to the mat. Keep your right hand on the mat. Reach up with your left arm for a twist. Exhale, lower your left hand to the mat. Reach up with your right arm for a twist. Exhale, lower your right hand to the mat. And then bring your feet in about half the distance that they are and come down into squat pose or malasana or garland pose. And your heels can be up if they need to be on a blanket or something. Try and press out with your elbows on your knees to get a little more of a stretch, and try and lengthen your back and your spine and breathe. And on an inhale, press your hands to the mat again and straighten your legs for forward fold. Then bend your knees if you need to, hands on your hips, flat back, come all the way up to standing. Good. Okay, now come back up to the top of your mat. And on an inhale, come up on your tippy toes and reach for the sky. And exhale, come down into chair. Stay on your tippy toes if you can. Pause here. And then keep lowering down slowly, 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 all the way to the mat. And then let's do a few back rolls. And after one of your back rolls, come to stillness in boat pose or Navasana. Either bent knees, straight legs, whatever's comfortable for you. Just a nice tension area. And on an exhale, lower down just a little bit more. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Last one, exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down and just lower down to the mat for bridge pose. And in bridge pose, you want your middle fingertip to almost touch your heel. You want to keep your knees pretty close together. We're going to do a few dynamic bridges to start. So on an inhale, we're going to lift our arms above our head and our hips into bridge. Inhale up. And slowly lower down on the exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. One more, inhale up. Exhale, lower. The next bridge, we're going to hold for a few breaths. So you might not want to take your arms over your head. You might want to roll your shoulders under your back if that's comfortable for you. So inhale up into bridge. Roll your shoulders if you would like to. And take a few deep breaths here. And on your next exhale, untuck your shoulders if they're rolled under your back, and come down very, very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae last. Then bring your legs straight above you for a waterfall. And do some point your toes, flex your feet, point and flex. Do some ankle rolls. One direction and change direction. And open your legs into a triangle. And apply a little pressure on the inside of your thighs with your hands. Take a breath here. bring your feet back together and bend your knees and place your peace fingers between your big toes and your second toes for happy baby. In happy baby, you can either have bent knees, straight legs, you could rock a little, or you can stay still. So all kinds of options. Decide what feels good for you. Take a couple of breaths here. Then release your toes and bring your knees together for hug knees. And you can either do tight hug knees and grasp your elbows with your hands and just stay still and breathe. Or you can grasp your shins with your hands and do hug knees that way. Then you can do small circles to massage your back. Go in one direction. And you can change direction if you're doing circles. And then place both your feet on the mat and place your right ankle on your left knee for reclining figure four. And reach behind your thigh and grasp it. Unless you like a little more tension, you can then grasp your shin. So if you're grasping your shin, press your shin up towards the ceiling once you're grasping it. If you're grasping your thigh, press with your elbow, your right elbow against your right knee a little bit to increase the stretch there. And then let's take a few breaths. Want to flex your feet, your head on the floor, relax neck, and breathe. Then release your left foot to the mat, place your right foot on the mat, place your left ankle on your right knee, and then decide if you like to grasp behind your thigh or your shin. And once you're positioned, flex your feet and breathe. Then release your right foot to the mat and your left foot, and then straighten your right leg and take your left bent knee across your body for a twist. And reach out behind your body with your left hand, with your arm straight and perpendicular behind you. And then look back over your left shoulder as much as you can. You can apply a little more pressure on the outside of your left knee with your right hand to bring it a little closer to the mat. And breathe. And roll onto your back again and straighten your left leg. Take your right knee across for a twist on this side. Take your left arm perpendicular behind you. Sorry, your right arm. And look over your right shoulder. You can use your left hand to apply a little pressure outside your right knee to bring it a little closer to the mat. And breathe. One more nice breath here. And then roll back onto your back again. And straighten your legs full length, your arms above your head, and do a nice full body stretch on it. Inhale, stretch, exhale, release. And you can stay there for Savasana, or you could change position. You could roll onto your side or your stomach. You don't have to be on your back for Savasana. You could gather some props for Savasana, pillows, blankets, things to get comfortable. If you have an eye pillow, you could use that. But I encourage you to take as much of a Savasana as you can now. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour. I think it'd be very well worth it. I enjoyed practicing with you today, and I hope to see you again. Namaste.